All right, everybody, it's time for the hot tags of the week. A handful of news, rumors, or just random odd topics that have gone down in the world of pro wrestling over the past few days. Let's start off with some unfortunate news. ECW alum Balls Mahoney has passed away at the age of 44. He apparently had a fall, and then it just kind of went worse. He got sick, and, there you go. There goes another ECW original. And, of course, obviously, the one thing that we can say is, condolences to his family and such like that. But anybody want to toss anything out there about, Balls Mahoney moments or anything that they want to touch on with, these ECW originals dying off and health issues, anything, whatever you guys want to talk about? Wago, I'll start off with you. Why not?
To be quite honest, I think most of us don't really have that many memories of Balls Mahoney. He wasn't anything special. I know some people have memories of him. It sucks that he died, but that's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
Both, I know, paid him for an instance. Not a big fan of ECW, neither am I, so
Neither am I.
I'm not going to celebrate his death by any means, but I don't really have much reason to be attached.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you look at ECW, it's not like Balls Mahoney was some major character there.
No,
He was some freak show attraction who came out, swung a chair a lot. What separated from anyone else who swung chairs? Everybody swung chairs in ECW.
Mm-hmm.
And he came into, I don't know why, when they tried to have that ECW reunion in WWE, they decided he was someone who had to be there. Fuck Rob Van Dam. We'll get him and Sabu out of here because they smoke some pot, but we're going to keep Balls Mahoney around for 3 years. The fuck was the point of that?
Drew, anything you want to toss in about this?
I liked his name just because when I was 12 and watching One Night Stand 2, I thought it was funny.
Wait,
Yeah,
I got
the
Mahoney.
same first name as the same last name as you.
I've got a Balls Mahoney reference or memory that I would like to share.
Fuck
one?
you. What Payne said was more funny.
The painted chairs, the custom chairs, I dig that. That was fun.
You
That's
dig
about
that or
everything,
dig that?
So yeah, Balls Mahoney, that's unfortunate, but let's move on to some other things. Let's talk about something we can laugh about. Let's bring up the spirits a little bit. TNA has moved its headquarters to a warehouse. A warehouse. They went from their shitty little building, which had, was it Finn Balor in EC3 doing the Suck It chop right outside of it, to apparently being evicted from it, which there's conflicting reports. Some say that they were flat out evicted. Some of them are going, no, we decided that we were going to leave. Like that whole, you can't fire me, I quit kind of thing. And
Next week, they're going to be renting Don West's basement.
At this point, they might as well. The warehouse was their merchandise shop.
Well,
My God, man, what is up with this company?
They fucked up. It's simple as, we've said it before. They had the best start that any professional wrestling company could ask for. They had distribution on Spike Television, which is a pretty damn good network as far as viewership. They had money from Viacom, money from Panda Energy, Jeff Hardy, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Kurt
Sting.
Angle, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. The list goes on and fucking on. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're bankrupt again. They're going to start letting talent off again. We're going to wish they died again. They'll survive again.
Somehow.
And continue being shitty again.
There's reports that they are big things are coming, and it's you say this all the time, and that they're looking for more investors, but there's also reports that they got bumped from Pop TV, where they said that they weren't getting good enough ratings on Tuesday nights, so they moved them to Saturday nights.
Jesus Christ. I will say the best thing about that merchandise warehouse was the Don West video when he was just giving out so much shit for free.
Maybe that's why they have so many money issues. Fucking Don West gave away all their merchandise.
Come on, the Jeff Jarrett signed guitar was well worth it in that big warehouse bundle deal.
Well, Jeff Jarrett's got plenty of things to offer you right now.
Yeah, what is this whole thing that's going down with it? I didn't look at it at all, but it's like a Ponzi scheme that he's got going on?
Yeah, it's something like where you sign up for this thing and something about selling gold. And I was just reading it and I'm like, nope.
Guys, it's a unique opportunity where you get to join Team Jarrett. All you got to do is watch this simple 3-minute video. And after you watch this 3-minute video, you just have to provide a few easy contact details and watch another 7-minute video where you are going to learn all about Team Jarrett's secrets. And then, a representative of Team Jarrett will be in touch with you so that you can join Team Jarrett to the fullest extent and make yourself some real money.
That sounds so legit.
Oh, and here's the best part. If you watch the video and you give them your email, they will send you an autographed 8x10 of Jeff Jarrett.
Ah, well, sweet. I'm fucking in. And then at the very bottom it says for $9.99 plus shipping and handling. Terrible. Let's see here what else we have. Renee Dupree has dropped his class action lawsuit against WWE. Yeah, that took a while, didn't it?
Kind of getting sick of this. WWE owes you jack shit. I don't care if you wrestled for the company. Once you have fulfilled your dates and got paid for your date, that footage, you no longer have any rights to. They have rights to every second of it. They have rights to your name, your character, and everything you portrayed on that moment. And if it goes up on the network and people are watching it, tough shit.
That's not actually how it works, Wago.
It does when they...
Excuse me, Wago. All right. It depends on the contract. All right. And there's two different things with rights. There's rights about what you decide what happens with the footage, and there's rights where you get royalties for it. Okay, yes, primarily an artist. Excuse me, I'm fucking talking. Wait,
and I was first.
Artist usually is the one who has to be the one to decide whether they're going to put that in the contract on there. Now he decided not to, so that was on him. Yes, but most of the time there is a case where the artist gets paid for distribution. So there is a case for a lot of these guys. Him, no. But don't try to act like some uppity guy when you don't know how contracts work.
I wasn't finished talking, but you interrupted me because you're...
You did finish talking. You had a pause.
Was it a dramatic one?
CM Punk, see, the thing is, when he did this, CM Punk was like the first person I brought up because there was a big issue with him getting royalties after he left the company and he had ownership of his name. I remember that being a big deal because they did the John Cena CM Punk feud for the next WWE game they made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was totally
that's something different. Then you're talking about the difference between owning the name and owning the rights of what decides goes around with it, getting royalties. These are all different parts of having ownership over it. It's the same thing as like the Beatles music is actually owned by Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson doesn't decide what the Beatles music does, but he gets the royalties on a lot of Beatles music because he bought that library.
Well, he doesn't anymore.
Well, he doesn't anymore. That's right. He sold it. But that's the way it was for like 30 years.
Plus he's dead.
The estate.
And he sucks. Under the voice.
Yeah. So that was with other discussion. Let's talk about something just really ridiculous that I wanted to put out here because I thought it was funny. Sin Cara got into an argument with the Mesa Street Grill over Twitter. He was all bitching and complaining that he went into there and they like didn't treat him well. And Mesa Street Grill's like, dude, you were being a dick. And he's like, no, you're a dick. And they're like, no, you're a dick. And it just went back and forth, and it was fucking great. So I suggest anybody to go ahead and check out those tweets, which I think that they ended with Mesa Street Grill going like, all right, fine, let's do something for charity. And then it like kind of ended. So I don't know how that sort of was the culmination, but what do you guys think about the wrestlers having these kind of things on Twitter? Should they be allowed to like do normal personal stuff, or should it just be in character tweets?
They can do it, but
at Sin Cara, not at whatever his name is. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they can do it, but they've got to understand that they like there's repercussions if it reflects badly on the company.
I don't think they're allowed to have separate Twitters, so you almost have to do it combined.
Cody's the only one I know for sure has a separate Twitter.
But that's also like a gimmick. Mm-hmm. Where like Cody Rhodes and Stardust aren't the same guy.
Well, no, he's got one that's like he's got like the Stardust one, but he's got one that's just blocked. Like you have to be accepted to be able to see his tweets and stuff, and he only posts like personal things on that one.
Mm-hmm.
That one's like it's not even like at Cody Rhodes. It's something like at like I don't know, C Runnels something or whatever. Like that's like flat out, full out. You know, talks about his wife as being Brandy, not being Eden, like, you know, whatnot.
What you're saying is I got accepted by him. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I follow him, and he told me to let me follow him, so that's cool.
He was like, I got to get this Drew White kid in there.
Well,
he needs to know what sandwich I ate and whatnot.
He wants to be verified, Tony. There's nothing I could do about it.
Do how many of you guys actually follow all these wrestlers? Like, I'll follow a few if they're funny, like Kevin Owens, but for the most part, I don't give a shit what you're doing in the morning.
I follow a bunch of them on Twitter, but I don't check Twitter.
For the longest time, I followed CM Punk because he tweeted some funny shit to people, but then he got really political, and then I stopped.
I still don't know if I've gotten blocked from Goldust yet.
Oh, you probably did.
More than likely. But yeah, I mean, I never check Twitter. Twitter sucks to me. Like, I'm just not into it. Not my thing.
The only back and forth I've ever had with a wrestler was when I called Jim Ross out for slurping and shit.
And what did he say? Hey, slow down.
He made some old fucking, 50s show reference.
These aren't happy days. I'm pretty sure, the last interaction I had was with the Hottest Divas, the Knockouts tournament, where a couple people were like, oh, cool, I'm still relevant? And I'm like, well, not really, because he lost. Well, Mickey James retweeted, though. She was cool with that. She was just like, oh, sweet, people think I'm hot. Awesome. Thanks. But, yeah, fuck Twitter.
And Mickey was like, see, I'm not Piggy James. I told you I'm not.
Justification.
And I did spend 2 weeks harassing Christopher Daniels every day about Curry Man. He never responded, though. I should do that again.
Yeah, why not?
Everybody tweet Christopher Daniels about Curry Man. We should make it happen.
Let's move on to another thing here. Kalisto's injury, apparently not true. That was just good selling. So, for all those people that were wondering about the United States title situation, still going to be on Kalisto for a little while. But we do have another injury. Bray Wyatt apparently was injured even more than his previous injury at a live event in Milan, and it's not looking so good. So we might not end up getting that payback match.
Is this related to his previous injury?
I think that it actually is sort of like a combination of both that and another injury. Somebody said that he went down and he was pointing at his leg. So it's probably his back is beaten up and he was putting too much pressure on his leg.
Does he keep getting injured? He doesn't do jack shit.
He's fat.
You should get fucking in shape then.
Bray Wyatt is fat.
Yeah, it said he was wrestling Roman Reigns, which is kind of opposite of what was going on Monday Night Raw. And a few minutes into the match, he sort of started holding his leg, and they just kind of cut the match off, and got help to the back and whatnot. So there goes that whole payback match if he's not better in a couple weeks, which is really a shame because he's just starting to get a little bit of a change up with this whole babyface sort of character, and that could really fuck him over. We don't have Luke Harper to fall back on.
Who's to say they're not going to have a payback match?
It's if it ends up being
a 2-on-2.
Yeah, that's true. They could.
But I mean, who cares anyway? Were you really stoked for Wyatt's versus League of Nations?
I kind of was.
I was really intrigued by that match. I'm intrigued by Babyface Wyatt.
Baby Wyatt.
Baby Wyatt. That's what I'll call him from now on.
Oh man, I should just change the main event from later on. Instead of heel or face, it should just be heel or Baby Wyatt. But yeah, poor Bray Wyatt if that ends up being the case. But it might not be too bad. It might have just been he fucked something up a little bit. He doesn't wrestle for a few weeks, and then they can do that match. So
that's the nice thing about the Bray Wyatt character is you can easily just hide his injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're a dirt sheet reader, you'll never know.
Yeah, well, unless he comes out with
To be fair, I think the good majority of the last 12 months he's been reported injured.
Well, here's the nice thing is Bray Wyatt could just sit in a rocking chair. You could put wheels on it. It could be a rocking wheelchair. You'll never know.
We have a new trademark from WWE, Total Bellas. And the speculation, of course, right now is either that they're going to rebrand Total Divas, which I highly doubt it, or that they're just flat out giving the Bella Twins their own spin-off show of Total Divas. And that could be a good sign for them sticking around the company and whatnot, but goddamn, I gotta assume none of us are going to watch this fucking Total Bellas show.
I can look, but I won't watch.
No, we probably won't, but this also isn't for us.
Exactly.
This is for the massive audience that was watching Total Divas. And the Bellas were the most popular characters on that show, whether people want to admit that or not. Listen, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. That's all it is. You don't got to be upset that the Bellas are getting credit for something that they did well with.
Hey,
let the girls make their money.
If it's something that WWE can get some money on and they can keep them in the family and whatnot, go for it. I'm not going to be watching it, but at the very least, we can tell for sure this is not going to be a rebranding of Total Divas. They're not going to get rid of the Total Divas brand and just focus on the Bella Twins. Unless there's one thing that could possibly go into the mix here. We have seen the cast change around quite a bit, and they are stepping away from that Divas name. So maybe the alternative is they're going to kind of switch it up and have Total Bellas for the E! Network, and they're going to do something for the WWE Network where they follow the women around, and it's going to be like the alternative to Total Divas.
Total women.
Show sounds like it could be terrible, though. It's just like, hey, Brian, remember how you can't wrestle? Nikki's husband can wrestle. Like, if it's just them two and Brian, it must be awkward.
It's them shopping and weird shit like that.
Them talking about wine, bitching about their dogs or whatever.
I prefer my idea.
Yeah, well, listen, here's the deal. This is a really, really popular series they've had. It's brought in people who never would have gotten into wrestling regardless. People should be happy, because you know who the main target is this? Girls. And this is going to give you fucking idiots a reason to talk to girls about wrestling. So enjoy it.
I'd love to see the person who just goes up and it's like, hey, you like WWE? And they're like, not really. Well, do you watch Total Bellas? Because I do.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. It's going to be a very I think naturally, when the women actually come over to talk to these guys, they're going to get scared away because it's like, so what do you like? Brie Bella? Oh, she fucking sucks. Fucking Austin Aries. She's Nakamura. What the fuck?
She shouldn't be the champion. Fucking Natalia should be the champion because she's got the Neidhart family with traditions and shit.
Yo, you stupid fucking girl don't know about wrestling.
You don't know anything about wrestling. What are you fucking following the women's championship match?
Yeah, there is that problem.
That's the one major flaw in that.
All right, well, there's the hot tags of the week. Everybody leave your comments below. Tell us what you think about all these different topics, and tell us your best pickup line if you were going to go be talking to one of these Total Bellas fans. And we're going to take a break with the rest hold, and we're going to come back after that with our main event, Healer Face, Baby Face, Healer Baby Wyatt, whatever we're going to end up calling it, and part 4, so stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back.